Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. The bathroom or the ensuite is still echoey, there's nothing hanging up, nothing I can do about it. I could hang towels up I suppose, but that would involve effort and walking 2.5 metres to the cupboard and lifting it out and doing it. Anyway, the shave, classic shave, tagged by Jack over at the Virtual Groom Room. Thanks for the tag, mate. And I'm just going to tag two people that I want to see again back on YouTube, back doing shaving videos. And there's a few that have disappeared that would be great to have back, but two in particular that I still keep quite close contact with. Spencer Frankel, Spen Shaves. Spencer, if you see this, mate, you tag. I'm expecting something spectacular from you because I know you have some lovely classic vintage stuff. And Brown Man Shaves, Carl over at Brown Man Shaves. It's actually Kyle, but Carl over at Brown Man Shaves. So you two are tagged. I hope you both make a video and get it sorted and splashed up. Anyway, I'm going to start off with my soap. This soap is Derby. Now, it's classic for me because the scent on this soap reminds me of I call them my pappy, my granddad, grandfather, whatever you call them. I don't have many memories of anything really, but the memories that I do have seem to get a real jolt from scent. The smell on this, albeit not everyone's cup of tea, it's a strong, really sort of strong citronella candle. To be honest with you, it's not a scent I really like, but the memory that it brings with it is so vivid and so strong. It's a classic memory really, all classic memories. I remember things that I couldn't really remember. Oh, by the way, give me a second, I'll be back in a second. That's a very quick second. I've just brought something into the ensuite, into the bathroom with me. I just want to show you something because someone mentioned on my video that I look quite old with hair. And I do, I totally agree with you. I look old because I'm bald and wrinkly and shit. But I've got this marvellous trick that makes you look really young. And no, it's not this. It's not this. It's none of this shit. This stuff does help. It does make your skin feel nice. It's this. And it works a treat. Look at that. From 36 to 23. You really can't go wrong, can you? The wife loves it. What does it look like? I've got normal hair. Brilliant. Anyway, all for that for the shave. I'm not shaving with it on. By the way, that was the first baseball team I'd ever seen live, and I was about, I would have been 8, I think. 8 or 9 when I went to Toronto the first time. And I've still got I don't really remember that, but I've got memories, fresh memories from when I went with my wife last year to see them. So yes, back to the soap. Derby shaving soap. Absolutely average soap. It's nothing spectacular. It lathers nicely. It's got a really, really strong scent. In terms of, I've said before, scent strength 1 to 10. This is my 10. I mean, this is knock your socks off scent. This stuff hangs around the bathroom, stinks of it for hours. The brush of choice is there. Can you see it? It is the Wee Scott. Now this brush is obviously a modern brush. It's not, this wasn't made like a long time ago. But Simpson, who make this brush, have been producing. Alexander Simpson, who was a Scotsman, started producing brushes in 1919. So 101 years ago, they started producing brushes. This is the Wee Scott. It is the only brush that Alexander Simpson put his name to and actually signed on the brush. Which is a shame because I wish he'd done a big Scott. So I do, look, cards on the table. Simpson make fantastic knots. The hair is brilliant. My brush that I had, my Chubby 2, just shed like mad. That was my brush. That was unfortunately my one was just a dud. And it was second hand. I don't know whether it was shedding like that with the previous owner, but he said it wasn't. This one doesn't shed. It's a tiny little brush. It's a 12 or a 13mm knot. I can assure you, Johan, it's definitely smaller than your travel brush that you've had for 25 years. This thing's bloody tiny. But it's a great little brush. It does a great job. It works very, very well. I'm not going to look at any other products now. I've only got two more products really to look at, but you'll see them in the picture anyway. So I'm going to load up the brush. I did soak the Derby before because it's a very hard puck of soap. I also find this, so I only really use this, in all honesty, to kill the smell of badger brushes and boar brushes when they're new, because it's so strong that it just, I mean, it doesn't work straight away, but you're talking like sort of maybe the second the application of this soap and the smell of the funk of the badger is gone. Good old Derby. Made in Turkey. I wasn't actually able to find anything on this in terms of how old it is. Now I don't know whether this is the exact stuff my pappy used. I think it was, because it's so spot on in scent. But I did find in the back here a musebat, asmusebat.com. So I just chucked that in my phone about half an hour ago, and it's no longer in use, the website. So I don't know whether Derby's still actually made by them, or I don't really know what's happening with Derby. I don't know. In all honesty, I will try and keep it in the den. I mean, this will last me a long time. The scent for sure will last a long time. Right, I think there's enough in the brush. I've got absolutely loads in the bowl as well, in the soap. I'm just going to wet my face. Now, I've got a little bit of irritation on my neck. Well, not irritation, but this is where I sort of hacked myself yesterday with the feather. Right, I'm going to scoop out the excess from the top, which there's loads of. I mean, I say this isn't it's not a great soap. It's probably not good. It's not got a real good post shave, but it's slick enough to shave with. It lathers easy. It is tallow based, I believe. Let me just double check if I can see it on here. Potassium tallowate is the main ingredient, or the first ingredient, which is usually the main ingredient in the soap. And here we go with the wee Scot. So I didn't actually know, I did a little bit of reading on Simpson. I should have read up a bit more when I first used the brush. But Alexander Simpson started the business, I believe, well, around about 1919 he started making brushes. But during the Second World War, his first factory in London got bombed. And he lost his factory, so he moved. I didn't actually read further than that, but I didn't realise there was so much history behind Simpson brushes. Now, it's no longer what it used to be. It is now owned by Volfix, who in their own right make great brushes. As far as I'm aware, I've never used a Volfix brush, I don't think. I did have one right in the beginning, way back. I got one with I purchased my first one blade, and with that came a Volfix brush, which was dreadful. Right, I'm just going to add a little bit of water into the top of the knot. So Volfix now owns Simpson. If you get a good knot, look, it'll be fantastic. It'll last you for the rest of your life, and it'll be a brilliant knot. And the hair choice that they used, especially in specifically the knot that I had at my brush, the knot was fantastic. It was brilliant. Customer service, meh. You know, in the end, it wasn't even really the fact. I mean, I wasn't actually gunning for a new brush, but it wasn't that. It was the customer service that let them down, really. The lack of communication. Communication is key in the world today. There's absolutely no excuse for not having it. You know, it takes me a little while just to get through my YouTube comments, and I'm sure Simpson get a lot of emails and stuff like that. I'm sure they probably get a lot about shedding brushes. Or maybe it's just me. But I do hear a lot of stories. I was in contact with a lot of people. A lot of people reached out actually when I was using the Simpson brush, saying that they had similar problems and Simpson did nothing about it. But at the end of the day, I accept the fact that Simpson they've got the things in place to cover themselves, because obviously you can't guarantee a brush forever. It just doesn't work. You can't. Especially a badger hair brush, the hair will deteriorate over time, over years. If you don't use it, it'll dry out a lot and it'll be pretty much unusable. If you look at some of the vintage brushes that are getting about at the moment, they are pretty munted. Look at that. I mean, this is a little 13mm knot with a sort of old school. I've got hair there, I think. Yeah. I mean, I'll lose the odd hair out of this brush, So there is the knot, or the brush. Absolutely chock-a-block. It's a messy little bugger, but what can you do? It's a tiny brush. Right, the razor. So continuing with the classic shave theme, the razor that I'm using comes in this. Now this was a gift from my mother and father-in-law when they travelled back to Europe. They bought this in Belgium, I think. And it is a Gillette. I don't know. I honestly don't actually know the type of it. I think it's a ball end tech, open comb. I'm not sure. I don't even know when it was made. I don't think, in all honesty, there's any markings on it to show when it was made. Now, I did give this a little bit of a polish because it was really shocking looking, but I have had nothing but shit shaves from this razor. Nothing but really irritated skin and the full works. Now I'm going to load into that pretty much my favourite blade of all time, the spoiler. Gillette Super Stainless, the spoiler vintage blades. These ones I've opened up, taken all the blades out, coconut oil, put them all back in again, just to stop them from rusting and corroding. Well, that's the theory. Hopefully it works. This is what the blade looks like outside of the box. Now this one has been used. I've used this one before. One thing I've noticed with the Gillette blades, they do tend to have a good quality printing on them. They don't just rub off. But these things are absolutely brilliant. I was actually looking at, they make little sort of glass stones for stropping these type of blades. So just loaded the blade onto the top cap and then onto the base cap or the base plate. Now this is an open comb. I've had, like I say, terrible shaves. But let's just see how we go today. Now the handle is split. It doesn't hold on very well. It does swivel a little bit. You can see, probably just, you should be able to see. That's what the razor looks like, fully made up. It's not very long. It's a bit of weight, so it's pretty heavy. Hopefully you can see the crack in the handle there. Just see it just at the top on here. Now this is very common on these razors. I don't think it's showing up, but you'll see that one better. There you go. Just see it. But overall, it's a very nice looking little razor. It comes in nicely packaged. It does come with a little blades thing there, which I have loaded up with some Australian Super Stainless. Now the Super Stainless, I believe, were one of the first blades ever to be coated with a plastic coating, which I would imagine would be called PTFE coating now on some blades. So here we go, classic shave. Yeah, the head just came loose there. It's back reasonably tight, I think. It's just falling apart like me. So here we go, with a vintage razor, vintage blade, classic shave, Derby soap, Simpson brush. About 24 hours growth. Now don't ask me why the shaves have been awful, because I've got absolutely no idea. I cannot put my finger on it. When I've used it, it's felt relatively smooth and comfortable. It's just, the head's just so, it just keeps going loose. That's not helping, the head being loose. I did actually contemplate sending this off to try and get it fixed up and refurbished and stuff, but the handle's a bit of a nightmare. It almost needs a new handle remade for it so you can slot the ball and stuff in. I will say one thing for it though, it's very efficient and it's quite blade feely, so I mean that could be the problem. It's maybe just not, it's maybe just a little bit too efficient for me now. That certainly felt, and I'm going on memory here, like like it was a better shave than I had before. The silk is a little bit dry. It's just not melting away in the water like I would like it to. Overall, first pass, classic shave, can't really go wrong. I think this bright light over here is becoming a pain in the ass. I've never really noticed it before. So, residual slickness is pretty good, you know. One thing to expect or not expect from Barbie is a great immediate post-shave feel or lasting post-shave feel. I find it quite a drying soap. It's not a great soap for its post-shave properties, but it gets the job done. And it couldn't be that bad really, because it's been around for a long time and people will have been using it for a long time. So back to the wee Scott. The brush with a big personality. Wee brush, big personality. Now, from memory, this brush was actually a challenge to the knot makers of Simpson to be able to create a brush with such a small knot that was actually usable. Just going to add some water. To the side. So this is a little bit wetter now, just to try and get the slickness I'm looking for. And here we go across the grain. I can honestly feel irritation already. It could be the soap, but I'm pretty sure it's this bloody razor. I just can't get my head around it. It is quite efficient and quite aggressive though. But at the same time, it's very, very smooth. Just tighten the head up again. It's not screwed on, it just sticks on. Very similar to the carbon construction. Which I actually thought, when I first seen these type of things, I thought this was a full solid piece. I didn't realise it was 3 parts like the carve. I didn't realise this is something that's been in play for a long time, making 3 sections in different machines, joining them all together at the end. It's really efficient, and it is, I mean, you can see there's a fair bit of blade showing, but it feels like that blade is right on your skin. There's like no, there's no real protection for your skin. It's just there, boom, blade. So you do feel it, certainly. Right, splash of water. Yeah, residual slickness is there. It's actually better than I remember. I think, in all honesty, my way of finding lather, or trying to get the lather where I enjoy it, has improved vastly over the last 18 months to 2 years. So I do find that my lathering, or the lathers that I create, no matter the soap, generally get me a reasonable shave, or allow me to have a reasonable shave. When you first start out in wet shaving, it's the most difficult thing to get an idea of and get it right to your specifications, because everyone likes it differently. If you watch Paul H, he likes it real thick and pasty. literally pasty, it's like toothpaste. But then you've got guys like Jack over at the Virtual Groom Room who tagged me, who like it really voluminous but really wet as well. Johan over at Shaving Butcher likes it wet, but probably he doesn't really care what it looks like. He's not interested in voluminous or density or anything like that. He just wants the slickness, which is the key, the main factor that you want from a shaving soap. I'm just going to dip the brush and add a bit of water in here again. So yeah, it just shows you tiny little brush can still make a fantastic lather. So here we go, cross the grain of the way. The blade feels great. I think the blade's really helping today. As you guys know, the guys and gals know, the Gillette Super Stainless, the spoiler, is probably my favourite blade, one of the best blades ever made. I'm yet to try a Persona 74. I've recently been looking at a listing for some Scottish Persona blades as well. I'm not sure if they're the same ones that Kevy shaves. Kevy gave me a pack when I was over in Scotland, and they were good, but they weren't as good as the spoiler for me. Well, I think that's a wee bit free shave so far. Just going to add a little bit of lather on here. Well, I don't think it's wee bit free, but it's pretty close to. Yeah, I've got a few just against the grain here, but it's alright, it's pretty good for me. Wow. Now, my skin does feel slightly irritated, but nothing in comparison to what I had before with this razor. That's it washed off already. It's like no slickness left. In comparison, if you were to go and watch something like Mitchell's Real Fat, and just watch me rinse off at the end, you'll see what I mean with regards to sort of post shave and the post slickness, all that sort of stuff, you know, the residual slickness. It's not great on the soap, but it's pretty good. You know, it works, it lathers up easily, it's got this great scent strength. Maybe not a great scent for everyone, great scent strength. Just give the brush a good flick out. Now, one thing I do like about this brush, quick flick on the towel. It looks lovely once it's sort of blue. I'll show you the end as I go through it. But that, well, pretty good. I've got this mark here, got a little marks here, and I don't know what they are. Never seen them before. They're just little dark patches. It looks like hair, but it's not. Don't know what it is. I'm just going to finish off now with something that's not. Have I got anything that's vintage? I'm still going to finish off with that. But let's have a little splash of some Lucky Tiger after shaving face tonic. Since 1935, and this stuff's brilliant. Really like this. Nice citrus scent. This is probably not 1935 formula, but it smells great. And this actually does really help with post-shave irritation. I find it really hydrates and moisturises the skin. It smells great, but I never get a burn from it. Never. It just seems to work. Does its thing in the background. Nice and easy. But I'm going to finish off with this, but I shall do that off camera. The soap for today was Derby Berber Tiras Sabuno. I don't know if that's Tiras Sabuno, I don't know how it's pronounced, but strong scent. Brings back phenomenal memories of my pappy and all the time I spent at his house. Just that smell, his bathroom used to smell like it all the time. And I think in all honesty I used to go and sniff it when I was a kid, because it was such a strong sort of unusual smell, especially back in Scotland when I was younger. The brush, as you can see, it blooms out quite nice once you use it in and then dry it. But the great thing with this is it dries out completely within sort of 6 or 8 hours. I find it's bone dry. There's nothing, well, there's maybe a little bit of moisture in there, but the top of the knot, or the glue bump, is just sticking up above. So you can sort of feel everything really, but it is a lovely little brush for what it is. The razor today comes in this lovely little gold box, and it is I think it's a ball end take or something, I'm not 100% sure, but it is a gold one. It does look quite nice. It feels quite nice in the hand. It's open comb, it's very efficient. I'm starting to see a few little blood spots coming out now, little creepers they're called, if you're not unaware. Chris over at IamCDB. I've known of the term for a long time, and I think, to be honest, I think I got it from Chris when he used to be Eyeliner. When he used to speak about weepers and creepers. Weepers are instant, they happen straight away, the blood comes out. Creepers, nothing, looks great, no blood, and then 5 minutes later you're talking shit and one weeps out. So they're called creepers, they creep up on you out of nowhere. But other than that, I've had a really nice shave. You know, it doesn't feel tight at all, which is good. I am going to finish off with AP Reserve anyway, but I'm really happy with the shave. This was the blade that was in there, the Gillette Super Stainless. They never used to be called the spoiler, but eventually they became the spoiler because people felt spoiled. These blades were lasting a very, very long time. And as I was talking about before, I was looking at a little stropping type of thing for these blades that's made out of, like, it looks like milk glass. You just pop your blade in and you just rotate the blade in it, and it hones the edges. Now, modern blades couldn't give a rat's ass because I can buy them, you know, 10 a penny sort of thing. But these, there will come a point in life where you will not be able to get 1970s or 1980s Gillette Super Stainless blades. There will come a time where there'll be none left, or someone will be holding them all, and you just won't get your hands on them. I'm very lucky to have, I think I've got about 50 or 60 of them, and I want to try and keep as many as I can. I did give a pack off to Kevy Shaves, and I think I sent another pack to someone else. Even the ones up here, I don't really want to use them all because the Australian ones are even more rare than the American ones. But finished off with Lucky Tiger, 1935, and Lucky Tiger was created. I don't know if that's what they made at the time, I'm not 100% sure, but I had an inkling that they are quite old. With that, I really enjoyed it, so thanks for the tag, Jack. It's been actually a really nice shave, a surprisingly good shave. I'm looking forward to my next shave now. I can't wait to shave my head, but as you can see, I still haven't done so because I can't. I've still got a couple of, I think, to be honest with you, I think I've got 2 ingrown hairs that are getting pretty big. So I might have to get the wife to whack me with some tweezers on the back of the head and see how we go. But with that, stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I look forward to Spencer and Carl's shaves. Catch you guys next time. Cheers.